Well, I'm so excited to do story time with you again. My name is Miss Jennifer, and I'm here at the Ohio County Public Library. We've been doing story times all about some book characters. Last time we did Cat in the Hat and Clifford, but I promised you that today, the next time we had story time, we would be doing some of our favorite stories about Pete the Cat. Do you really love Pete the Cat? I know I do. We've also been learning some sign language. With the sign for cat is like this. You're gonna put your index finger and your thumb together, and your other fingers are up like whiskers. You put it here by your mouth and you pull. Cat, cat. Pete is a groovy cat. Are you ready to get your alligators out? We're gonna stand up where we are. We're gonna put our hands out. A is for alligator, chomp, chomp, chomp. B is for bouncing, so we hop, hop, hop. C is for circle, so we turn around. And D is for we all sit down. And we crisscross applesauce, ready to be a listener. Well, I wanted to share with you a Pete the Cat book that hasn't been out too long. I wonder if you've read this one before or heard it read. The title of this book is Pete the Cat and the Perfect Pizza Party. And the author of this story is Kimberly and James Dean. They are the author and the illustrator. Do you like pizza? Pete sure does. Pete the Cat loves pizza. Pete the Cat loves parties too. Pete had an idea of what he could do. He would have the perfect pizza party. Pete's friends all arrived. It was time to build the perfect pizza together. That would make the pizza even better. Pete thought the perfect pizza would be pepperoni with extra cheese. That's his favorite kind of pizza. It's a party, it's a party, it's a pepperoni pizza party. But everyone did not agree. Callie said pepperoni would be just fine, but I really love, see what she likes? Pretzels. I really love pretzels on mine, said Callie. The gang were puzzled. Pretzels? Well, that's something new. Maybe pretzels would be groovy too. It's a party, it's a party, it's a pepperoni pretzel pizza party. Squirrel said, pepperoni and pretzels would be just fine, but I really love pistachios on mine. Pete and the gang were puzzled. Pistachios? Well, that's something new, but maybe pistachios would be groovy too. It's a party, it's a party, it's a pepperoni pretzel pistachio pizza party. Grumpy Toad said, pepperoni pretzels pistachios would be just fine, but I really love, can you see what he has? Pickles. I really love pickles on mine, said Grumpy Toad. Pete and the gang were puzzled. Pickles? That would be something new, but maybe pickles would be groovy too. So it's a party, it's a party, it's a pepperoni pretzel pistachio pickle pizza party. But Gus said, pepperonis, pretzels, pistachios, and pickles would be just fine, but I really love popcorn on mine. Pete and the gang were puzzled. Popcorn? Well, that would be something new, but maybe popcorn would be groovy too. It's a party, it's a party, it's a pepperoni, pretzel, pistachio, pickle, popcorn, pizza party. Alligator said, pepperonis, pretzels, pistachios, pickles, and popcorn would be just fine, but I really love papaya on mine. Pete and the the cane were really puzzled. Papaya? Well, that's something new, but maybe papaya would be groovy too. So it's a party, it's a party, it's a pepperoni, pretzel, pistachio, pickle, popcorn, papaya, pizza party. Pete and the gang piled the pepperonis, pretzels, pistachios, pickles, popcorn, and papaya on top. The pizza was so high, they had to stop. Ding! The pizza was done. Trying something new might be fun. They all built up the courage to take the first bite. And the pepperoni, pretzel, pistachio, pickle, popcorn, papaya pizza was out of sight. It was dynamite, just right. And in the end, the perfect pizza is a pizza that is shared with friends. The end. What a fun story. Did you hear all the words that started with the letter P? There were a lot of P words in that book. Pete the cat loves pizza, but sometimes he just wants a sandwich. Let me share another Pete the cat story with you. You see, Pete the cat looked at his watch. It was 12 o'clock noon, time for lunch. And Pete thought, what should I have for lunch today? A sandwich, thought Pete. I know, I'll go to the kitchen and make a really great sandwich. So Pete went into the kitchen and he got some bread and a fish, a tomato, and some mayo. And he looked at his sandwich and he said, that looks like a really good sandwich, but it is not big enough. So Pete added an apple. What did he add next? Do you know what this is? What is that? Some crackers and, a pickle. And he looked at his sandwich and he said, that looks like a really great sandwich, but it is not big enough. So he added some cheese and an egg, good job, and some hot dogs, 2 hot dogs. And Pete looked at his really big sandwich and he said, that sandwich is not big enough. And so he added a banana, a can of beans, and a triple-decker ice cream cone on the very top. And Pete the cat looked at his sandwich and he said, that sandwich is too big. What was I thinking? I could never eat a sandwich that is that big. What am I going to do? And so Pete came up with an idea. He called his friends and invited them all over for lunch to help him with his really big sandwich. The end. That is a huge sandwich. Do you think you could eat a sandwich that's that big? It's pretty big. We do love Pete the cat, but probably our favorite story about Pete is about how much he loves his groovy buttons. You see, Pete the cat has a favorite vest, and the reason it's his favorite is because on that vest there are 4 bright, colorful, groovy buttons, and he loves them so much that he sings a song. He sings, my buttons, my 4 groovy buttons, my buttons, my buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. But then one day, one of Pete's buttons pops off and it rolls away. But does Pete cry? Goodness no. Buttons come and buttons go. But now how many buttons does Pete have left? 2, 3. He has 3 buttons. So he sings my buttons, my 3 groovy buttons, my buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. Well, that was a bad pop. There we go, much better. One of Pete's buttons pops off and it rolls away. But does Pete cry? Goodness no. Buttons come and buttons go. Now how many buttons does Pete have left? 2. 3 take away 1 is 2. So he sings my buttons, my 2 groovy buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. One of his buttons pops off and it rolls away. But does Pete cry? Goodness no. Buttons come and buttons go. Now how many does he have left? 1. 2 take away 1 is 1. So he sings my button, my 1 groovy button, my 1 groovy button. But then his last button pops off and it rolls away. But does Pete cry? Goodness no. Buttons come and buttons go. But then Pete looked down. All of his buttons were gone. But then Pete noticed something. He had a belly button. Oh, still got my belly button. My button. Still got my belly button. My button. Still got my belly button. Buttons come and buttons go, but do you cry? Goodness no, just keep on singing your song. The end. Yay! I love Pete the Cat. He is a fabulous book character. There's so many fun book characters, though, that you can check out at your school library or here at the public library. Another favorite one that I love is Max. Do you know Max? Max and Ruby. He's a fun book character. Another great book character that you might know is this one, Curious George. He is a very silly little monkey. Do you know that Curious George has a friend? He's called the man with the yellow hat. See, one day, the man with the yellow hat was wanting an ice cream. The word man starts with the letter M. M for man. And the man with the yellow hat wanted an ice cream cone. He wanted an ice cream cone that had 2 different flavors and 2 cherries on top. So he decided to go looking for the ice cream truck. He went out of his house and looked all around his neighborhood, but he could not find the ice cream truck anywhere. He went looking around a pond. He could not find the ice cream truck, but he did find a little girl's hair bow as he was walking around the pond. Where else can I look, he thought. He went down, I know, I'll go look by those trees. So he went down to where there were some trees. And he went looking there, but there was no ice cream truck there. I know, I'll go look around the pond some more. So he went back and he went around and took the long way around. And as he was walking around the pond, he saw something swinging from the trees. It had small little ears and a long curly tail, and it was looking right at him. And it was Curious George, and underneath him was a little puddle of melted ice cream. He had eaten all the ice cream cones. That silly little mischievous monkey. The end. Yay! Curious George is a fun book character too. Let's get ready to sing a little or do a little hand rhyme before we go. Let's do one about Curious George. Let's do a monkey one. We're going to climb up a coconut tree. Can you pretend to be climbing? The itsy bitsy monkey monkey climbed up the coconut tree. Then we're gonna make a fist, put it up in the air. That's gonna be our coconut. Down came the coconut and bumped him on his knee. Can you bump your knee? Ouch! Out came his mom to kiss the pain away. We're gonna blow a kiss. And the itsy bitsy monkey climbed up the tree again. Let's get ready to do that one. Now that we know the actions, are you ready? The itsy bitsy monkey climbed up the coconut tree. Down came the coconut and bumped him on his knee. Ouch! Out came his mom to kiss the pain away. And the itsy bitsy monkey climbed up the tree again. Let's be monkeys. Can you be a monkey? You guys do a great monkey. Oh my goodness, that's wonderful. Well, let's get ready for our hands to give thanks. Our hands give thanks with a clap, clap, clap. Our feet give thanks with a tap, tap, tap. Clap, 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 tap, tap, tap. We roll them together and we wave goodbye. And as we're leaving, we're gonna be leaving you guys with a Pete the Cat headband. So you're gonna make a little Pete the Cat hat so that you can really enjoy our Pete the Cat story time together. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.